Welcome to another episode in the Quantum Human Summit series, expanding multidimensional awareness. My next guest is a beautiful soul who has expanded his multidimensional awareness as he is a channel of Metatron and assists light workers stepping into the fifth dimension on a business journey and a soul level journey. Addison Ames is here with us today to talk about what makes the quantum human and how to use it for good. Hi, Addison. Thank you for being here. Welcome.
Hi, Lauren. Thank you for your kind introduction. It's good to see you, and hi to everybody watching. Glad to be here.
We always love talking to you, and today this is going to be more of a conversation about what makes the quantum human. So I'm starting out, and first I want to say that the quantum human, when we're talking about multidimensional awareness, this is a remembrance. And what happens as we remember is it opens us up to beautiful experiences. We meet our guides. You have learned to channel. So I'd like you to provide a definition of what it is to be a quantum human. What does that mean to you?
Well, wonderful. Well, what I'd like to do, and I appreciate everything that you just said, as kind of a prologue, as you mentioned, I'm a channel for Metatron. I've worked with Metatron for many years now. As many people may know, and I think you know, Metatron is an architectural engineer, a structural designer and enforcer, and works outside of the all and within the all, and helps to teach what structure is and what the understanding of how our physical realm works is. So, many people associate sacred geometry and other kinds of geometries with Metatron. I think you're familiar with Metatron's cube and the Merkaba and things like that. These are all structures, they're geometries, they're scientific builds. And so as I've worked with Metatron for years, he teaches me a lot of these kinds of understandings, how things are built, how things are structured, how the human experience is built. And so all the way from the high, all the way down to the low, really there is a scientific understanding. And I know some spiritual people say, science, I'm running the opposite direction. But really, Metatron, in a way, is a scientist and describes that everything in our existence is science. And so science is a study of structure or a system. As science is a study of systems is an easy way to say it. And so in our existence, our heart, our mind, our soul are all systems. Spirituality is a system, a big system within the overall system of life. And so I have a few slides to share with you that talk about what makes the quantum human and how to use it for good. But part of my work, Loren, is demystifying things, which means simplifying things. Let me take this big idea that, we as spiritual people go, wow, the mystery of life. And, there are a lot of shows on television about the mystery schools, what was taught in the mystery schools. So part of my job, part of my role, part of my mission is to demystify, simplify, and kind of tell a structural perspective on things. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
And it's funny because a lot of people want to know from Metatron, what's the high news? What's coming next? What's the high information? And sometimes the high information is really within. And to me, that's one of the most beautiful spiritual teachings, is the truth is within us. Does that resonate with you?
It really does. And every time you've brought forward Metatron to channel and his messages, we had you for Soul Shine and many other, the empowerment series as well. And every one of those messages are so profound, but it always leads us inward. And that's comforting because Metatron is there supporting us in miraculous, beautiful ways, but
Definitely.
he turns it so we do go inside. So yes, that is wonderful. That's empowering. And so he's really, it feels as if he's really teaching us to not go out of ourselves.
Definitely. Definitely. And, normally on your show, Loren, and thanks for having me on so many of your different series and quantum conversations. Normally I channel Metatron, but in preparation for today's conversation, I was guided to make this presentation all me presenting. So it's me and you having a great conversation. And Metatron is, I'm sure, present here. He's usually around and supporting us. So I have prepared a few slides to share with you and with the audience. And these will be visual aids and guides for our conversation. Can you see this okay, Loren?
Yes, perfect.
All right, and I love this title, What Makes the Quantum Human and How to Use It for Good? Because again, we can look at spiritual ideals and we can go ooh and ah, which is wonderful. And I appreciate that, and I do that sometimes too. But in the way that I work, I'm always working to bring together the spiritual and the practical, the spiritual and the practical. We live in a world of be and do. From a place of be, which is presence, I know myself, I meditate, I do the work, I plummet the beauty of myself, the extraordinariness of myself. From that place of be, I do. We live in an existence where we have to do. We have to get up in the morning, we have to do something, we have to eat, we have to go to the bathroom, we have to communicate with others. Many of us have to work. We need to go for a walk, we need to garden. We have children to tend to, whatever it is, we've got to do. So, in the way that I work, I like to look at spiritual ideals, which many times is a way to understand be, presence, that which is present in the system, and then how can we do with it? From the most powerful place of be, the most beautiful, the most exalted place of be, we do the best we can. And that's why there are some very beautiful presence teachers in the world today, like Eckhart Tolle and others, who talk about, meditation, be in silence, be in stillness, listen to yourself, listen to your inner voice, your higher self, your soul, whatever it may be. Because when we really are able to work on that be, that place of presence, we do better. So this presentation takes spiritual ideals, kind of the be-ness of it all, and then there's some do-ness, which means what do we do with this? How do we practically accomplish things in our lives by utilizing the presence that we know? So what makes the quantum human? That's kind of the be idea, and how to use it for good, and that's the do idea. So first of all, I want to look at the word quantum. Many people think it is something way out there. Where do you think the quantum realm is, Loren?
It's outside of time and space, and it's through our heart, with our heart and our mind pretty much merged. That's my experience with it.
And that's beautiful. And that's a way to see the presence of the quantum realm. But in truth, and again, this is structural engineering, it's spiritual, it's scientific, which are both kind of the same thing. And as we all know, science and spirituality is really merging, commingling, and cooperating now. And I always encourage people, please don't beat up on science. Love science. The best way that we can cooperate is by working with science, listening to science, contributing to science, and science, which is listening, believe it or not, to the spiritual community. There are lots of scientists out there that love what the spiritual community is doing and listen and watch what we are saying. So there's a real co-mingling and a co-joining between science and spirituality. They really are one. They're all systems. They're all systems of understanding in our existence. Really, what quant means is the tiniest, the smallest, and the littlest. Quant, tiny, small, little. The particle understandings of our existence, the littlest things, the smallest things, the tiniest things. So let's look at kind of what this means in a larger understanding. So here we are. This is you, Loren. This is me. This is the quantum human. Everyone watching and listening to this is you. You are the quantum human. Loren, do you have any pets?
Yes, I do. Two cats and a dog.
Are they quantum?
Yes.
They are. And you live in Costa Rica, if I may say. Do you have some sloths outside your window sometimes? Or monkeys?
Not in my area, but we have mono monkeys. Yes, we have
Monkeys.
kitty monkeys, and they're cute. And they are definitely quantum. Yes.
They are quantum. How about toucans? I know you have some toucans.
We have lots of toucans, different varieties, and they are definitely quantum.
They're definitely quantum. All people, all animals, all things with mass and atomic structure are quantum. There's no separation from any of us. We all are quantum. And so here are the layers of the quantum human. Here's how it works technically. One, at a very top layer, and there are many different layers to the human, and Metatron talks about this many times too, is you are more. The human is more than what you can imagine. Loren, as you and I talk here, we talk through personality. Addison, Loren, we have faces, we have smiles, we have ways that we move, things that we do, perspectives. We have body, mind, soul, and personality. These are kind of the top layers. We walk around, maybe we go to the store, go for a run, whatever it is. People see us. They see the top layer of us, our bodies, our minds. If they talk to us, they're interacting with our minds, the way that we think, the way that we do. Our soul, which is really kind of the architecture of us, the idea matrix of us, the essence of us, and the personality, which is the behavior set or the understanding of who Addison is. Addison acts like this, he talks like this, he smiles like this, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that is all the top layer of the quantum human. And as we go deeper and deeper through this list of layers, we are made of cells. And many of us in the spiritual community know our cells have knowledge. Each cell is like a little city. They have organelle, which are like organs. They have power plants. They have things that carry information around. Our cells, if you go even a layer below cells, contain DNA and genetics, which I know, Loren, we've talked about DNA, awakening our DNA before. DNA and genetics are primarily held in our cells, but they're in some other places in our body too, but they are deep within our cells and hold the information of us, kind of like a library of us. Very powerful things. And then the things, the very small things that make up our DNA, genetics, our cells, our body, mind, soul, and personality, all the layers of us are atoms. These are very small containers. So now, when we go below where the atom is, we're going deeper in layers and layers of the quantum human, we discover the quantum realm. So the quantum realm is within our atoms. It is within us. And so now let's look at the layers within the quantum realm. It's not separate from us. It's not better than us. It's a bit more interesting than us, but it makes us and comprises us. So now within the red box, we're going to look into the quantum realm and look at the many layers. So we have protons and electrons, which create electromagnetism. Electromagnetism creates light, sound, and vibration. That's the way many people can know like our vibe or our frequency. It's created by our electromagnetism. And then if we go a layer below that, we have the center point of the atom, which is the nucleus and nucleotides, which holds yet more cities, yet more realms. This is another layer. Then we go deeper, and there's a layer of what's called particle understandings, particles, quarks, leptons, bosons, and fermions. And then we can go a layer below that. And then you have these really fantastic forces, which we'll talk more about in a few moments, called strong force, weak force, and gravity. And many people talk about gravity as the force that holds us to Earth, well, gravity is within us. It is in the atomic structure or the quantum realm of all physical mass structures. Anything that is comprised of atoms contains gravity, along with these amazing qualities. I love studying this: strong force and weak force. And these are mysterious forces that hold and bind and allow. And these are in the quantum realm or the subatomic or particle physics or quantum physics, if you wish, of all of us, of all of our atoms. And yet, as we go deeper, there is more. There are probably about 4 more layers down from these layers. And each of these lines represents a layer of the quantum realm, also known as the subatomic realm, the particle physics realm, etc. One of the reasons why we as spiritual people think that the quantum realm is something really special is because the quantum realm is really special. As there are some spiritual people working on this, including me, and also some scientific people working on this, is that all the forces that are at work, and there are more, that are very, very very, very tiny, very, very minuscule, have different behavioral sets than we do. They behave differently. They connect differently. They understand reality differently. And so as science looks 4 more layers down from strong force, weak force, and gravity, what science is really understanding and spirituality already knows is that there is a deep connective force at work within us and within all things. In a way, what quantum physics, what quantum spirituality teaches is we are all one. And in that understanding, we are all connected. And really, technically, what quantum physics understands and the quantum realm understands isn't so much we are all one. That's an output of the concept of how quantum physics works, is that there are connective forces at work that both we understand and we don't understand. Really, where we are as humans, spiritual seekers, is we're on the way. We're not at the destination yet. That's why many times we're called seekers. You know, we're looking, we're seeking, we're plummeting the depths of us and our universe and reality. Is we're only now just beginning to understand the human. We're only now just beginning to understand the human. So as we continue to seek, talk, understand, develop these ideas, many of the answers are within us. Many of the mysteries are within us. Is that the quantum realm and the mystery of the quantum human is that there are deep connective forces at work, very small forces that are actually very powerful. So, you know, many people are familiar with atomic energy, and there are countries in our world like France. France, which, you know, most people really love France, is largely driven on nuclear energy or atomic energy, and they manage it very safely and very well. Believe it or not, the atom contains so much energy, so much mystery, so many connective forces that we're only now just beginning to understand it. So as we continue to look down and down and down within the atom, we understand more about how the universe works, because the powers that are within us, within our quantum realms, within the quantum human, are at work all throughout our universe. So we can understand the deep connective forces at work by looking at ourselves and looking within at the very small things, which are very big things, very powerful forces that are at work throughout the universe. So really, a key teaching of the quantum human and the quantum physics, quantum mechanics, and the other quantum studies, which again are studies of the very, very small things, which are very, very big, are that we are all connected. There are connective forces at work within and around us in the mass structures of everything, in the atomic structures of everything, that prove out we are all connected. It's a very powerful teaching. And you know, the spirituality is already aware of this. I think you know that, right, Lorraine?
Oh, yes.
And so what are the benefits of understanding the quantum human? which is kind of like looking at these ideas, and these are all ideas for your consideration, thinking about it, doing your own research, is one, know yourself as more. Again, if we only deal with that top layer of us, it makes us look more simple than what we are. We contain many different layers, many different forces and functions. Again, electromagnetism is just a part of us. We contain strong force, weak force, gravity, and other kinds of energies within us. We're very powerful beings. So one, know yourself, know ourselves as more. Two, realize that there are great and powerful forces at work within you. And this is a beautiful way when one is in meditation, one is in self-reflection, one is just getting to know yourself, taking walks, listening to yourself, is listen to the great forces that are at work within you. These are the forces that exist throughout most of our universe. We're not cut off from it. We are part of it, and we are powerful. We are more. Three, know that you are a relationship device. You are here to connect. In the quantum teaching, the quantum mechanics understanding, which is the way it works, is if everything is connected, if these powerful forces that are within our quantum realms are meant to connect, to hold, to bind, to touch, to hug, to love, to rub, then our job is here to connect. We're here to connect, and we are relationship devices. And most spiritual people may be aware of this, but if you are, I encourage you to go deeper. Connect, connect, connect. It's why we're here. We are here to relate and here to know each other. And now, how to use all of this for good? We learn from the quantum realm, which is within every one of us and all things, that we are all deeply connected. We can use this knowledge for good by treating each other with love, respect, and honor. I'll say that again. We can use this knowledge for good by treating each other with love, respect, and honor. Why? Because the quality of our connection has a profound positive or negative effect on our world. Each relate, each connect, each meeting, each hello, Loren, whatever it may be, dog, cat, monkey, toucan, people you like, people you don't like, each connection, each relation has a profound effect because of the quantum effect, which is everything is connected. You know, you may be familiar with the old domino effect phrase. It really is proved out in the quantum realm. And again, the quantum realm is not outside of us, although it is. So you may have a sofa, a chair, you may have a tree outside. It has its own quantum realm. It has its own massive force within it. But the quantum realm is not separate from us. It is us. It is within us. And in the build of the human, it starts with the quantum realm. So the quantum realm is the basic building block of all the other layers going up to the surface layer of the human. So if anything, it is a great way to get to know yourself, to say, I am the quantum human. And here is a activation to share with your audience. It's very simple. Just from a deep place of knowing, deep truth, really connect with your heart, your mind, your soul, all the different parts and pieces of you, all the different layers of you, all the way down to the quantum realm within you, and say, I am the quantum human. 3 times. I am the quantum human. I am the quantum human. And to say it with such deep knowing that it activates you on all the different layers, heart, mind, and soul included, skin, hair, eyeballs, everything. And this activates or helps to activate your deep connection to all, including yourself, all the things within you and all the things without you. So I really encourage your audience, try this, write it down, put it on your refrigerator, put it in your office area. If you work from home, put it in there, and remind yourself throughout the day, especially if you get in a fight with your spouse, or if you have a bad day at work, or something goes wrong, you miss a car payment, whatever it may be, remind yourself, I am the quantum human. I am the quantum human. I am the quantum human. You're more than what you think. You're more than what you know. You are great. And why be limited when you have such greatness within you? Allow it to come out and allow the truth of you to show. I am the quantum human. I am the quantum human. I am the quantum human. So these are all some thoughts for consideration and for our conversation. Lauren, what do you think?
Thank you for giving us that deep dive within, because I can say that as we're learning about the quantum human, this just gives it a scientific background and explains that deep connection of oneness, that we're hearing. And I want to say, even Nassim Haramein, when he does his scientific research from a spiritual perspective, he's even gone to say that black holes are within us. Now that's profound as well. So when we're learning this and moving about this, I keep going back to our world then that we're creating. And as we know ourselves within, if we were to look out at the environment, nature always reflects back to us that quantumness of who we are. So how do we make peace? This is a bigger question. How do we make peace if there's something in the world that doesn't sit right with us? That really is an internal job, because whatever's being mirrored back to us, we are in ultimate responsibility and control of on how we respond to it. Thoughts on that? That's a kind of a big topic there.
Indeed. Well, I have a book coming out later this year called Knowing, Knowing, Knowing. And it talks about these kinds of topics because most of humanity, at least in the generations that we've seen, in the generations that include ours, Lauren, are used to being told what to do, told what to believe, told how to respond, told how to react, told everything. I call it group telling, which means through cultural understandings and organizations, governmental organizations, religious, civic organizations, the list goes on, familial structures, parental structures, generational and ancestral lines, is that each younger generation comes in being told, presented things and told how to respond and told what to do. And the shift change that's happening now over the next generations especially is moving from being told to know. So understanding the quantum realm, you have these incredible, powerful, earth-changing forces within you, within all of us. The quantum realm is within you. It's not separate from you. So whatever you think the quantum realm is, all those wonderful things, apply it within yourself. I'm not saying that any of those things are wrong, but if they're out there and they're so good, they're in there and they're so good. So we know, we have an innate know, we have an innate ability to respond in the highest and best ways we want. So this activation, I am the quantum human, and the ideas that are in this book, Knowing, are meant to kind of aliven and awaken us to a whole new understanding of what we can do, our own personal power, and our own personal choice. Most people in the world today don't realize they have choice. They walk around their lives just kind of blindly doing and being told what to do. But when we realize we have choice, we're empowered. If we're always kind of looking, this is a fun game I play with myself. Throughout my everyday life, I'm always looking to see, where's my choice? What can I choose? What can I choose? How can I do things differently? Or am I just saying, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll do that. But when we're actively hunting for the opportunities of choice and for choice, our life changes in quality and manner and demeanor. We get new opportunities. People see us in different ways. Instead of being someone that just kind of does whatever, we are seen as someone who says, oh, wow, that person is different. That person is choosing wisely. It's an empowered person. So, the idea of ascension or evolution is one that you know well and your audience probably knows well. The key driver of ascension is generational change. So many people ask me, how can we get ascension going? What's the most important thing in ascension? How can we speed this thing up? What do we need to do here? Well, it's generational change. So we all have a role to play, which is mainly through our perspective, our choice, our insights, and our empowerment, what we do with our lives. But the main impactor that really drives the shift that we're going through is generational change. And so that's kids, young people. How can we educate? How can we enlighten? How can we love and care for our young people? If we look at the next generation and say, well, look at those horrible kids, and that whole thing, right? Oh, these kids these days. No, to me, that is the kind of the opposite way we should be. Oh, these kids these days. How can we love? How can we empower? How can we learn from them? Those are the ones that are bringing in enlightenment, new ideas, and new vibrations, frequencies, and all kinds of forces within them that drive institutional change. So I gave you a few different answers there, Lauren, but I hope that gave you an answer that you're looking for.
Yes, I do. I love it. So it really puts us fully in the driver's seat. I love that little game that you play, going on the hunt for choice. If we
Yeah.
are really aware of what you just said there, what you just shared, we can instantly see when we're feeling. So for the example that I was using, I don't like a certain thing happening out in the environment, but I realize that choice, the way I respond or react to it, is a choice. Are we going to choose to be love? Are we going to choose to not yell or, are we going to choose to come at everything from a higher perspective? So
Mhm.
it really is empowering. It really is. It really is. Now, there was something that you mentioned in the beautiful slides that you shared with the forces, strong,
Mhm.
weak, and the gravity. If we really contemplate those forces, that is another powerful expression of our beingness. Can
Mhm.
you take us into, I don't know if it's a meditation. I love that activation. I am the quantum human. You had mentioned that we can meditate with these forces within us,
Mhm.
the forces. Is there something that you can lead us on so we can contemplate this a little bit more? The strong force, the weak force, the gravity. What do we do with that?
Definitely. Well, let me give you a little more information about strong force and weak force and gravity. Is that throughout the tapestry of our universe, we have active and kind of passive forces. Passive isn't quite the right word, but what I will say is they're kind of hugging forces. So our entire existence is squishy. I think you'll like this. Our entire existence is touch, touch, touch. Everything is always touching, touching, touching through air, the elements, everything has a hug to it. So strong force and weak force are what I call hugging forces. They help hold everything together. They help love everything together. So indeed, we could do a meditation if you'd like, but more than anything, I would encourage people, try on your own, see if you can in your own meditation, get in touch with strong force and weak force and say, can you hug me? Or you can say the forces within, please hug me, or strong force, weak force, hug me. Everything in our existence is always relating. We live in an existence of relate, and really the reason why we are all here is relate. That's the reason for our existence. Is the designer, the creator of all things, wants to see what this to that, love, care, kindness, touch looks like acted out on the world stage. I quote Shakespeare many times in the play Hamlet. Life is like a stage and we are all actors on it. It's very much like that. We act out the divine plan, which is all, including air, fire, water, all the elements, dogs, cats, toucans, monkeys, can you all relate in some way to everything that you touch? And our entire existence is touch. Our entire existence is relate. And so strong force and weak force are what I call hugging forces. And these are real quantum forces that work within us and within everything that has atomic structure. In fact, even some say strong force and weak force are beyond atomic structure and help hold and bind things together. What do you think about that?
I love it. I really do. And it is, again, I'm going to use the word comforting, because how can we relate to ourselves? That is something that's a question for deep meditation. How can we relate to ourselves? And so, as I said, when we look out and we see the environment mirroring something back to us, that is something within ourselves. So it's an individual journey. Maybe there's no meditation needed on a group level, because what you gave us is a powerful tool for us to do within our own journey. How can we relate to ourselves and to everyone in our life?
Mm-hmm.
And it goes back to as the quantum human, we are all connected.
Mm-hmm.
I think as we expand our multidimensional awareness, we certainly realize that we are all connected, that in our relations, and this is just a sharing of a brief story, when we hold a frequency of love, of kindness, of compassion, of caring, and others in our, let's say we go to dinner with a group and there's a few of us, and one person in that group could be starting to complain about something. Maybe it's the environmental issue. But if we literally hold our frequency, then we can shift what the group, the beings in this group are feeling. I've actually witnessed that.
Mm-hmm.
So this is key. So this is key for us moving, and it goes back to what you were saying about the choices. We have to be astutely aware of our frequency all the time, the frequency within us, anchoring the light within us, radiating the light that comes from within us. And so that the cellular memories of people treating us badly, or the genetics, if that comes up to be cleared, the love frequency that we hold is allowing us to clear it. So it's easier said than done, but I really think that this is what's happening. Don't you? Is this how you see it? That with the choice points, we are just bubbling vats of genetics and DNA and programs, that if we center in on our quantumness, understanding the strong force, the weak force, and how we are all related, and how those forces hug each other, and what our purpose for being on the planet is to relate to each other, that certainly shifts all of our worlds. That certainly shifts our perspective on everything, that we are the creators of our world.
Well, and as a as a meditation reflection for your viewers, I'll just give you this simple starter phrase: is just get into your meditative state, your space, get in touch with the inner parts of you, and just say, strong force, weak force, hug me.
Mm-hmm.
And let that be a meditation for you, and let yourself feel hugged from within. Again, this idea of the quantum realm is this really great place way over there that we'll never get to or experience. What we try to connect with, it really is within us. So allow yourself in meditation to connect through that space. Strong force, weak force, hug me. It's a beautiful meditation. And remember, I am the quantum human, a really wonderful activation. In fuller answer to your question, where I see humanity going is really a place of nice, N-I-C-E. Now, when I say this to some people say, are you serious with this? Just nice?
We've been waiting for it. Come on.
But if you look at the history of humanity, it really has been pretty bad. We've come from a place of, I'd rather kill you than look at you. If you go back to ancient times, all the way to Roman times, medieval times, it's been a pretty rough place. Humanity has been rough. So where we are now, we're trying to reach up to love. We're trying to become masters in love, but we're really not there yet as a global society, as a global community. We're only now just really trying to be nice to each other. That's why many times even businesses or they have HR departments, you kind of watch over people and say, be nice, honor each other's cultural heritage, be nice, play nice, everybody. Um, so there's lots of different cultural, business, and even some governmental architectures that are really trying to be nice to each other. Let's be nice to other countries. There are some wars, unfortunately, that break out in our world today, but there are many areas of the world that are trying to be nice to their neighbors, create coalitions and alliances for good, trying to demolish dictatorships, trying to demolish poverty, trying to demolish hunger, and things like that. So humanity is moving to a place of nice because I believe in some part this ties back to your series, Lauren, is that people are understanding the deep connectedness of all things, the deep connectedness of all things, let's say. So just like if you talk about the nuclear bombs that were dropped on Nagasaki and Hiroshima in Japan, unfortunately, I hope humanity said, Japan is our neighbor. Why would we do that? That affects us horribly. So my hope is that never ever happens again, because we understand the impact as a global civilization, as a global society, on how we treat our neighbors. Be nice to your neighbors. Be nice to the people that live down the street from you. Be nice to the governments on the other side of the world of you. That's why I really do believe even countries and states that have been very problematic, like Russia and others, are about to change. Dictatorships are falling apart and things are changing. And if you disagree with me, that's fine, but you're better off sending love and care to those that need to break down so that this does become so. Many people fight against me when I say this, but I say it as an encouragement. It's what I see. But if we allow, through the love and deep connectedness of everything, through the tapestry, the quilt of our existence of humanity, please send love, respect, kindness, be nice to everybody. Even political figures, be nice to the ones that you don't like, or just change the channel. Because the more fear, intimidation, and, unfortunately, hatred that we send out through the web of our existence, because we're all connected, it affects us all. So personal responsibility, very key. Knowing one's choice is very key. Knowing one's value system, character, and being empowered with all those things is key. That's what changes our global society and our global understanding of ourselves.
So beautiful. And each of the events going on the earth right now, I have looked into it as well, Addison, and I see that it's a pressure cooker. It is a pressure cooker to help people wake up into this responsibility, this choice that they have. And one of our beautiful listeners, Randy, always says, no pressure, no diamonds. So we are the diamonds in making. And it's beautiful because, there's also a timeline here. I was just chatting with someone just yesterday, here, this is a year for politics in the US, and there's things going on, and it's kind of making people a little fearful or concerned. And this is another choice point that we have. Maybe you want to speak on this. Feeding the timeline. And you were just talking about it. If we come from this area of love or tuning out, if we can send love to the whole process and somewhat take a step back and know that we're going to be okay, no matter what, that choices that people make, because I could see the argument that some would have. They're like, well, more and more countries, it seems like we're going backwards in our evolution to be nice. But I think that's part of the drudging of the old, right? We're drudging out those old feelings. So the rest of us that get this, create a timeline, feed a timeline of love. Your
Mhm.
thoughts on this?
Well, definitely. I'll talk about timelines first. As you know, we've talked about timelines a number of times. I work with people's timelines. I'm a timelines expert, and timelines, again, kind of demystifying and simplifying what timelines are. Timelines are containers. So much like a canister you might have in your kitchen that contains cereal or granola or pasta, something like that. A container, canister in your kitchen is the same thing that a timeline is. A new timeline is an open and clean canister that you can put pasta in, or granola or cereal, whatever you'd like. So our timelines, and Earth has timelines, each of us has timelines. The average American, let's say, in the world today, at any point in time right now, has probably about 100 to 120 timelines open at any given time. We're always jumping timelines because as we shift gears and mental focus in different parts of our lives, like family, work, travel, parents, whatever, we're jumping timelines to different canisters or containers and accessing information that's in those containers and also filling those timelines containers with information. So just like you would in your kitchen, you wouldn't want containers full of moldy food or rotten food or old food. You want fresh food. So that's why it's always important to keep your timelines clean, clean and clear, heal your timelines, and be very cognizant, like you said, Lauren, be very aware of what you fill your canisters with, which are your timelines. Only put in the food that you would want to eat yourself. It's a good way to look at it. So if you're filling your timelines, it's your stuff, right? Your timelines are all your stuff. Let's say one has 120 timelines open. That's all your stuff, your life experiences, your memories, your actions, your emotions, your energies, your frequencies, all those things. If you're filling your timelines with nasty food that you would never want to eat, you're probably doing yourself and the world a disservice. So it's important, fill your timelines with the best and most beautiful food, organic, fresh, whole food, whatever you want to do, which is indicative of love, joy, peace, patience, goodness, kindness, gentleness, self-control, teachability, faith, hope, and love, those kinds of ideas, along with whatever else you like, with laughter, travel, all those kinds of things. Because we're always filling and accessing our timelines. And when we make sure, including Earth timelines, country timelines, region timelines, Costa Rican timelines, when we're really cognizant of that, we can change our lives and change the world. And I want to speak to what you said about kind of working out old energies. Talked about, well, it seems like we're still working out old energies when it comes to governmental systems and this kind of thing. And I would say, yeah, that's right. So the way humanity works and a structural understanding is another way to see ascension is working out old ideas and bringing in new ideas. We're always working out old ideas from the system and bringing in new ideas from the system. So, just like if someone is, let's say a young person and you're dating people, sometimes when you break up with somebody, break up with your girlfriend or your boyfriend, it takes a while to get over it, right? Some people cry a lot. Maybe it takes months for somebody to get over the loss of a boyfriend or girlfriend. That's a significant relationship. In the same way, world relationships and all other kinds of relationships take time to work the old out and then bring the new in. Sometimes there's kind of a tail, sometimes a long tail to working out old ideas. Many people talk about the 1950s as a very idyllic and beautiful era. In truth, if we look back on it in honesty, it wasn't. It was a very difficult era where husbands beat their wives, people drank too much, had car accidents. There was great, unfortunate racial and gender inequalities, things like this. Yet many people idealize that time. But it's taken us decades to work a lot of that out. Now we see much more gender equality. Women and men are always working to be paid the same, no matter what their gender is. So we see economic equality happening there. While there still is, unfortunately, too much racial strife, there's much more appreciation and honor that's coming online. If a husband and wife beat each other today, it would be kind of a surprise or looked down on or not nearly as accepted as in the 1950s. But it's taken us decades and decades to work a lot of these old ideas out of our system to become more balanced. So sometimes it takes a little bit of time to work out old ideas and bring in new ideas. It doesn't always happen overnight. Many times the change happens over a period of time.
Okay, so be patient and again, be present in our present moment where we are mindful of our vibration. And as we've heard on this series, hold it. Don't let anyone take us out, anyone or anything or any place or anywhere, take us out of it. Hold it. And that is our power. So thank you for that on timelines. We always really love it. It really is amazing when we think about it and how we're collapsing the old timelines by bringing in the new. It's as simple as that. Bringing in the new collapses the old timelines. And for those who may be questioning, if we collapse a timeline, does that mean the relationship is gone? Not necessarily, because the relationship can shift. I guess that's my final question for you. The relationship, we do not have to, unless for some reason the relationship has to end. If it's toxic or not good, say bye-bye. But for the most part, hopefully our love and compassion and care and truth and trust will help evolve that relation or all of our relationships into the new timeline. So we may not have to say goodbye to people unless it's necessary.
Well, let me talk about collapsing timelines for a moment, if I may. Is that okay?
Please.
Because it's a phrase that some people feel different ways about. And the way that I work with timelines, and I work mostly with people's personal timelines, is we collapse timelines on a regular basis. And here's the way that I do it, and here's the way that I see it. It doesn't delete one's information, because the way that I work, I respect people's lives. Timelines hold your life and maybe other life stuff, experiences, memories, or whatever, relationships. Is that I see it as, imagine you have a walk-in closet in your home and you've got some clothes, some old clothes in your walk-in closet that you're tired of looking at every day. You walk in, you only wear the new stuff, new shoes, new stuff, but you've got these old clothes in there and you go, I don't want to see these anymore. They bring back old memories. I'm ready to move on. I want to get them out of my life. I don't want to burn them. I don't want to delete them or destroy them. I just want to get them out of my life. So collapsing a timeline is kind of like taking all of those really old clothes, boxing them up, and moving them to an off-site storage facility. It's a storage facility that you have. You can go there and access it if you want, but it's maybe 5 miles away and it's not in your house anymore. You're not looking at it every day. So collapsing timelines and the way that I work with people's timelines is like that. Taking the old stuff out that you don't want to see every day, packing it up respectfully, and then moving it to an off-site storage facility. And that's what I call collapsing timelines. Does that make sense?
It does. It really does. Thank you.
And so, for relationships, what is the old saying? Relationships sometimes are for a reason or a season or a lifetime, something like that. I believe that everything is in flow. And, people talk about the flow. I'm in the flow. I'm in the flow. It's a beautiful place to be. When you look at a river flow, what do you think?
It's different in every moment.
Exactly. There's always push and pull. And so sometimes when I work with people, they just say, I just want to be in the flow. And I said, well, imagine a river flow. There's always movement. There's movement. There's always touch and rub. And sometimes there's a lot of excitement. If you've ever gone whitewater rafting, there's a lot of tumult, a lot of tumultuousness sometimes. So in life, there's always, I dance with you, you dance with me, I dance with that person, I dance with that person. So relationships come and go. I think the most important thing is know that we're all connected, we're all quantum beings, and it's important to act in love, respect, and honor to each other. Treat others as you would want yourself treated. I think it's called the golden rule, something like that. I think it's a very good rule, because in the active exchange of energy, the active exchange of everyday tensions, life, even love is a tension. We have a lot of tension in our world today. An additional activation for people, or intention for people to try, Lauren, your audience to try, is I move to a state of low tension. I move to a state of low tension. I move to a state of low tension. And a lot of us are really, really tense in our world, but just, focus on being in a state of low tension, the lowest tension possible. When we do that, we're a lot more happy and relaxed and can make the best decisions we possibly can.
Yes, here in Costa Rica, we call that tranquilo. Tranquilo, tranquilo. Okay, really not taking things so seriously, relaxing into it. I love that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That is everything you've shared today is wisdom for action. I was going to say food for thought, but it really is wisdom for action. And it's a way of moving in the world. And it's a beautiful scientific and spiritual explanation of the quantum human and how we are the quantum human. It is within us. And wow, that's powerful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So this is, as usual, you are really a great teacher. You're a great facilitator for people. And I know that some are going to want to work with you and say, I want more of Addison. And so we've got some programs that are available. You have done a beautiful trio of classes with Archangel Metatron, sharing channeled messages that are universal. And so that's part of a special offer that we've got right here on this webpage. And it was beautiful. Tell us about that and how people can work with it. Why is that so important for people at this time?
Indeed. Well, the trio is very special. The exact classes that are in them, I don't recall what they are right now, but they do include Metatron. So some of them are channeled classes with great class participation. They're recorded. And if you like Metatron, if you like high dimensional information, if you like inspiring ideas that are also very practical, I'd encourage you to check out this trio. I think it's a lot of fun.
Thank you for that. You really do amazing work. You help light workers get their businesses going and actually live their fullest life. So we are so grateful for you and Metatron, who has been overlighting the wisdom in this episode today. And it was really interesting, Addison. I've got my own little sofa council, as I call it. Metatron showed up last night in the sofa council, and that was new. I was like, wow, okay, very cool. So I just wanted to share that. And we know that these beings share their wisdom with all who ask. And so thank you. As we say goodbye, I want to give you a moment for final reflections.
Well, I would say the last thing I would share is ideate yourself anew. This is a fun kind of challenge for your audience, Lauren. Ideate yourself anew. In an understanding of what ascension is, it's getting the old ideas out, bringing the new ideas in. I do something called Ideation Success Coaching, which is really cool. And it's helping successful leaders ideate themselves anew. And what I've seen in this work is really fantastic. Is many times we think of ourselves in one way, a one-dimensional way. But as we begin to say, wait, I can turn the corner and see myself like this, I can see myself like this, multidimensional, many different aspects of me, new doors and new opportunities open up for us. So no matter who you are, I encourage you, write this phrase down. I ideate myself anew. I ideate. And ideate just means like go through the iteration process or the process of coming up with new ideas, a new and different idea of yourself and the way you interface with the world around you. because what I see in my work is many people have just like a very small idea of themselves when they're really a big being, as we've understood in the quantum realm understandings that we've talked about today. Is I have the small idea of myself. I do this, I do it over and over and over again. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Do the same thing over and over and over again. This is me. When we ideate ourselves anew, which means get some old ideas out, bring some new ideas in of who I am, what I can do, how I interface with my family, my friends, my world around me, new opportunities and new doors open. So may that be a gift to everyone here. Please ideate yourself anew.
Thank you so much for that. That feels really wonderful, and it feels really expansive. And it seems like we were already being shown as a collective to step into this opportunity to ideate ourselves anew. I think it began last October in 2023, moving into this new year. That's always a great time to ideate anew. And then moving through February, and now we're in March. It's like, it feels like when we do that, make room for the shift that will happen and the shift that will occur, because there will be a shift that occurs. I think we've all been kind of feeling that and moving through it. So thank you. Wow. And would you agree with that? Like, we kind of have moved through some stuff.
You mean humanity as a civilization, or?
Individually in these past couple of months and the change of the new year. And actually we're in Aquarius, the Aquarian age. So there's been astrological events, but we are ideating ourselves anew.
Definitely. You and I have shared personally, for me, January and February were very challenging at a personal level. So thankfully, March has been a lot, a lot brighter and lighter. And I hope the rest of the year is lighter and brighter for both of us and everyone watching. But life does present challenges. And, I say this old quote, maybe President Roosevelt said this: that which does not kill us makes us stronger, which I'm sure you're familiar with. Life is always an opportunity to learn and to grow. And as we go through the different relationship, tension factors, repeat factors, challenges, opportunities, the best thing we can do is awaken, know, and grow. And as we do that, we ideate ourselves anew, and we go to new and higher heights. So thanks for saying that. And I really hope the rest of the year is wonderful for both of us and for everyone watching.
Well, thank you. You've given us beautiful wisdom to reflect on and incorporate in our life as we move through these times. Thank you, Addison Ames, for this beautiful presentation today. We are feeling empowered and expanded. Thank you, everyone, for watching. If you would like to work with Addison, tune into his programs that are an immediate download for you to dive deep in and be in those energies. Thank you, Addison.
Thank you, Lauren. Thanks for having me on, and thank you, everyone, for watching.
Namaste.
Namaste.
This has been a presentation of New Earth One Network, your home for New Earth living. Access information, education, and videos on living from the heart in unity consciousness. Visit newearth1.com.